think I'm ready for some positivity. Holy crap. What a nightmare this is. All right. Are we live? Are we live? I think we're live. Holy crap. Make sure if there's anybody here, you guys can tell me we're okay in the live. 0:4. 42 seconds into it. Okay. Hopefully you guys can hear me. If anybody's here. Okay. 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 I'm sorry. It's been a long time since I've done this. You know how it is. I apologize for that. All right. I think we're good. And if not, oh well. But I think we're all right. All right. Well, hey everybody, happy New Year. Holy crap. It's already over. Hey, wow, I don't know if it's thank God it's over because I learned a lot this year. So, and hopefully you did too. Maybe more about yourself than about how crappy sometimes things can get, or how wonderful sometimes things can get, and then not being grateful for them when they're there. I I don't know about you, but I sometimes have an issue, when the good times are coming and they're rolling in, and I'm abundant in happiness and excitement and passion and even some recognition or whatever of hard work I've put in. I don't soak it in. It almost like bounces off of me like I'm shielded from it or something, enjoying. I think I feel guilty enjoying good things for some reason because I know there's so many people out there who are struggling, and are hurting. And so I feel like if I uh, am, enjoying the goodness and the happiness that uh, I'm better than everybody else, or I'm rubbing it in somebody's nose. Look at me, you look at me. So uh, I don't brag about good stuff, but I let people know if I accomplish something, or whatever. Um, but that's I try to use those experiences so I can turn around and maybe help somebody, you know, be as productive or maybe hopefully surpass what I've been able to accomplish as a visually impaired person. So um, I'm looking in the blind spot, and I'm always looking to see what's there. And since I can't look into the mirror anymore, um, I do inner self reflection to see how I'm feeling. So uh, weekly positive message. I'm gonna get deep, if you don't mind. Um, I I've had a few friends in my life, believe it or not, uh, and I struggled with this for a long time, but I learned through my own spiritual journey and you know life tribulations and trials that life throws some curveballs, some really hard ones, and sometimes you get hit, and sometimes you knock it out of the park. But if you don't know how to handle the experience, you might get hit with the ball, you know, and eh, you might sit out the rest of the game, you know, or you might get to walk to first base. So I'm sorry for using baseball terminology, but that's kind of what came into my mind as I was explaining to give a visualization of that uh, the pain, the pain and suffering you can go through. But if you learn from that experience that hey, if I turn my hips this way, you know, then when that person throws the curveball again, I don't have to get hit, or I better learn how to hit curveballs, So either way, you learn. So it doesn't, you don't go through that pain and miserableness and frustration next time, right? So if we're always learning about ourselves and how we react to others and to life in general, the pain goes away because we're smarter than it. We're smarter than that emotion. We're smarter than that experience. We have wisdom, right? And the good thing about wisdom is when you share it, it makes you feel good because you helped somebody. You taught somebody something that you learned painfully, you know. And I don't know, when I was a kid, a little, going through stuff, and my parents or teachers or family member were teaching me something, it, if it wasn't interesting to me, I didn't listen. But oh Lord, did I remember what they said when it happened, when something like, when they warned me about something and it happened to me, I was like, oh, I remember they warned me about this, but I didn't learn anything. Some people are stubborn, they got to learn it the hard way. You have to learn through the experience rather than through the experienced, right? I was the kind of kid that somebody told me, don't touch that fire, it's hot. I'm like, yeah, right. And stick my hand in it, not literally, but I'm saying that's somebody would tell me something, they'd warn me, and unless it was about a dog biting me or something, something dangerous, physically dangerous, like uh, I would I wouldn't listen. Like if somebody said, "Hey, don't climb that tree. It's old. It's rotten. It can't handle your weight. It'll fall over and you might get hurt." You know, I wouldn't climb the tree. But if somebody said, if you talk to people this way, they might they might not be your friend anymore. I'm like, oh, they know who I am. If they know I'm joking when I say stupid things, So, but yeah, you lose a friend and you're like, oh man, that person was right, you know it, or those kinds of things. All right, so I'm off track here. Let me get back. So I had a friend who's struggles with negative emotions such as depression and anger, and you know, intimidation and loss. You know, which we all go through. But the advice I gave, which I don't know where it came from, but I guess it came from the experience, right? Um, in you know, the last 15 years or so, I've gone through a lot of loss and a lot of pain, and a lot of feeling depressed and lonely and emotion, negative emotion, right? And not a lot of happy stuff unless I was accomplishing something. So I had a lot of passion and interest to do something, and I like to keep my mind off of the stuff, the bad stuff, the negative emotion that I was feeling. So, and I used those uh, things, and something positive came out of it. So by me not confronting and understanding where those emotions were coming from, I ignored them and uh, put my mind somewhere else and focused everything I had into those projects or whatever. And I did something positive with them. And That was okay. But when I was done with those projects, whammo, whammo, did I get smacked with the emotions. They didn't go away. I thought they wouldn't come back. I'd be okay. And they do. They sneak up on you. A song plays on the radio, or uh, somebody tells you a story about something, or you just you're just thinking about something, and then bam, a memory comes back, and you're just like, oh, what? Why did this thing come back? I thought I forgot about it. I thought I wasn't affected anymore by this thing, this emotion, this memory, this whatever. So I I had to figure out why these things were, and that became a passion. That became something very interesting to me. Like, why do we have these painful things, and why can't we get over them? And so I started my well, I've always been spirit, but my super duper spiritual journey, rabbit hole, if you will. And I was able to learn a lot of things. So when I tell somebody, uh, or I give somebody advice in a positive way, um, it's from the the trauma I've had to go through, right? And hopefully the people I give it to aren't the the kind of person I was when I was a kid. I wanted to experience and not be advised by the experienced. You know, so I was stubborn. But so what I told my friend, the advice I gave him was, when you're having a negative emotion, such as anger or depression, frustration or loss, or whatever it is, the emotion that hurts your mind and your heart at the same time, um, is to understand that, and recognize that you yourself have given somebody else those same feelings, you know, and if you're able to, hey, I, if you're able to give that, person a phone call and apologize, you know, if you realize you've given that person that feeling, then that's a good thing, right? A self-inventory kind of deal. But if you're not able to, or you don't know that you've ever given somebody those, I'm sure you, and, I don't know this, I don't know how to get a hold of somebody I cursed out in the sixth grade, so I wouldn't know how to apologize, and they probably don't even remember it, so, but if you forgive yourself for maybe causing those feelings to someone else, that's the first step. Because if you're able to give forgiveness, then you can be willing to accept forgiveness, right? So forgiving yourself is the most important part, just like loving yourself is the most important part. Okay, and then by being able to forgive yourself, then you can try to understand the feeling and why you have it, and once you figure out where it came from, then later down the road, you understanding those negative emotions, uh, you start taking the power of it away from yourself. So when you go through life and you get angry, or you get sad, or somebody causes you to have that feeling, you can smile, and you can look at that person and think to yourself, not falling for that trap. Yeah, you're not going to make me angry today, and I forgive you. You don't have to say that out loud. Just say it to yourself. I forgive you. You don't know what you're doing. And maybe you do know what you're doing, but I forgive you anyway. And then at the end of the day, you can relax and know you had a victory. right? I didn't get stuck in that bad feeling, bad emotion trap, you know, and you made it through it without a scratch. All right, that's my weekly positive message, and I hope to keep track of this and keep doing it on a regular basis. I know I've kind of had a hiatus. This year was kind of funky, and but I made it through without a scratch. So, all right, Happy New Year's to you, and be safe, and namaste. All right, I'll see if anybody's here, and if not, hope somebody listens to this wisdom of mine and it helps somebody. That's all I care about. Giving somebody a positive message is my purpose, at least on this platform. Right. Mm. I didn't see anybody. Mm. All right. Have a great week. Talk to you next time.